All Things Motoring International is owned and brought to you by SA's most trusted online vehicle platform, ChangeCars. Our name says it all. Whether you're looking to sell, need advice, need finance, or need insurance, ChangeCars has you covered. In this week's episode of All Things Motoring International, Mike and Ernest bring you coverage from our two-part special at the Festival of Motoring. This is a show that will surprise you.
We're at Festival of Motoring 2024 to say we've got a jam-packed weekend ahead. You know it. We're both wearing running shoes. What do you think's in store for us?
This is the highlight of the motoring calendar. It feels like it's Geneva, but at Kyalami. We see brand new cars, we see tuned cars, and I'm looking forward to engaging with the audience, with the manufacturers, with the stands. They've got sim racing, they've got everything in between, and of course, we've got our own stand too.
Absolutely. Now, around us, you can hear the motorbikes on track. It's just an incredible vibe. The amount of exhibitors, the amount of public that has already come in. This is, without a shadow of doubt, the premier event on the calendar.
Indeed, folks, it's called the Festival of Motoring, and we are about to get festive. Enjoy.
When it comes to categories of cars, there are too many to mention, so I'm going to narrow it down to three. Special, extra special, and then what is next to me, a beautiful Mercedes 280 SL Pagoda. Introduced at the Geneva Motor Show in 1963, produced for 8 years until 1971. How many were produced? In my opinion, not enough, but the number is 50,000. One of the most exquisite, and I mean exquisite examples, is next to me. What is a car like this worth? Whatever you need to pay to get your hands on it, you can pay it. We all love cars, but most of us dream of a supercar. Ivan, you don't just dream of a supercar, you have something ultra special, Supercar Society. Tell us about that.
Right, thanks Mike, it's good to be here. What we decided to do was get a bunch of our club members together, make a nice entrance, drive in convoy, park off for the morning. So we've got a nice membership base. The club's been going for about 9 years now. In fact, August is 9 years on the dot.
Congratulations.
So we'd make a nice kind of a nice statement and kind of do something special for the club members.
So whenever you think of a supercar, you think of anything from an Audi R8 to a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, a Porsche. In terms of what qualifies as a supercar to join the society, what qualifies?
So typically it would be something from your quintessential brands, Porsche, McLaren, Ferrari, Lamborghini, your exotics.
So Ivan, we all have our favorites.
Yep.
Even though you're dealing with members from Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche,
Yep.
do you have a particular favorite yourself?
I'm a Porsche man through and through. I think it's once you've experienced it, once you've owned one, you just really don't want to drive anything else. It's a super special brand. It's a rock solid brand. It's a bulletproof vehicle, really. You can thrash it around. I've always said it's one of the few cars you can drive to Kyalami, do 30 laps and drive it home.
100%.
It won't skip a beat.
People watching this, they want to join your incredible club.
Yep.
How do they go about it?
Mike, I think the best thing would be social media. Look us up on Instagram or Facebook. Pop us a message. We just obviously would ask for confirmation on make and model of supercar that you own to make sure that it qualifies for membership and attendance at some of our events. Veloce is nice. It's very much a couples club, so everyone's down to earth. Nobody's going to go, well, what did you pay for your car? Or it's only this. Nobody cares. We're all there for the same reason. So for me, it's half about the people, half about the cars. It's not all about the cars. No.
So you own a supercar, you're looking to join a super club. On your screen right now, you'll see Ivan's details. Ivan, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking
Thank
to
you,
you.
Mike.
Wishing you and the club
Appreciate
the
it.
very best.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I'm standing here with Brad, and Brad, cars normally attract all the attention at this event, but this device is just making a name for itself. What is that and who brought it in?
So this is a robot that we bring in from Amoda and Jaiku. It's called Dory. Awesome little robot. It is a robot dog. It actually follows you around, so you control it with the remote control over here. Very similar to a drone. It rolls over. If you upset it, it will find its feet again at least.
Well, I think we've left it alone for long enough. It might be missing you. I'm going to let you get back to it, Brad, but thanks for chatting to us.
Awesome stuff. Enjoy the show, guys.
Coming up after the break, the fun continues at Festival of Motoring, and Mike bumps into our friends at Rosper Imports. Are you looking to sell? Visit Change Cars and click on the Selling tab.
When you talk about absolutely iconic sports cars of the 70s, the 80s, or the 90s, Honda is not the name that would come top of mind. It would be Ferrari, it would be Lamborghini, and of course it would be Porsche. However, today we are talking about Honda. The Honda NSX, released in 1990, fine-tuned by the absolute legend that was Ayrton Senna, the three-time world champion, who was a Honda factory driver at the time. What is so special about this car? Rather, let me say, what is not special? The moment you sit in this car, the seats hug you. I'm not the widest guy, but I can truthfully say if I was any wider, I wouldn't get into this car. You sit in this car, it is absolutely perfect. In my opinion, I'll say it again, cars have gone backwards ergonomically. I look at the rev counter, I look at the speedo, I look at the odometer, I look at the trip meter, everything falls easy to hand. As for the gearbox, this is a masterstroke. Do yourself a favor, go onto YouTube and watch Ayrton Senna wheeling and towing this car. That is an iconic clip. I have only one wish, and that was I could drive it out of here, but the security is too tight. You get car auctions and then you get car auctions, and today we're at one of those. Himmel, Rosper Imports have put together a collection of over 25 of the finest cars in South Africa. Not debatable. Tell us about what's coming up.
All right, so for our first ever auction that we're hosting at the Festival of Motoring, which is tomorrow, the 1st of September at 1 o'clock, the theme for this auction is South African homologations. A lot of the cars in this collection or this lot that we are auctioning are literal rivals against each other. There's so much of little stories between them. And it's also, I think, the first time I stand to be corrected in this sort of environment that all of them have been put together under one roof.
So there's three brands that stand out for me here today. Alfa Romeo, BMW and Ford. Let's start with the Alfa Romeo. When one thinks of Alfa Romeo, there's absolutely one standout must-have model. What is that?
GT V6, guys. We don't have one, but three of them for you. And they're all different specs and different versions of them. So I think there's a car for every Alfa fan to put them in the right place.
So we spoke about homologation. The BMW 745i, designed specifically for racing. The 333's got a very special story. South Africa didn't get the M3, but for a very unique reason.
The reason we didn't get the E30 M3 was the engine slanted to the right, which made putting a steering box in that location very difficult, which really affected the ergonomics of the driving. So BMW decided not to make a right-hand drive version. We got the Alpina inheritance to the 325 IS, which was the 2.7 with the uprated power, 5-stud suspension, aluminium body panels. But unfortunately, the IS did not prove worthy enough to fight against the mighty Alfa and the mighty Ford. there came the story where the 333 was taken again from Alpina. And there you had it, BMW was boxing with the big boys.
But enough about the legends.
The legends.
Tomorrow is about an incredible auction.
Yes,
an
sir.
auction of South Africa's finest.
I believe so.
What is in store?
You know, listen, guys, I've worked very hard. It's a concept that actually was thought about a month ago, believe it or not. And we actioned it. We managed to put it out and get it all here. Tomorrow, we really have some rare cars. Ford Capri, Piranha.
So, Himmel, you've made us feel incredibly welcome. I believe it's my duty to support you. I'm going to come here tomorrow. I'm going to bid. I'm going to go wild. I've got 200,000 Rand to spend. What am I walking away with? Give me the short and the long answer.
The short and the long of it, I can put you in an E36 at 240.
Yeah.
All right. But it's a car, yet again, that's an honest car but needs love.
What he's trying to say is the short answer, you ain't buying a car. The long answer is I haven't got enough time to tell you why. Wishing you and the team all at Rospa. May tomorrow go off well. Go from strength to strength.
Much appreciated. Thank you, guys.
If you want a lesson in marketing, then I think we need to speak to you, Alema, because your stand over here has attracted an incredible amount of attention, including mine. Firstly, tell me about your stand and also tell me about Sani Rental.
Okay, so I'm glad that you mentioned marketing first because I do head marketing for the group.
Okay.
And I can tell you that the stand has attracted an immense amount of attention. We've had a lot of camera crews on the stand. It's a feather in the cap for me, very glad. From a Sani Car Rental perspective, we have 36 years of industry experience. If you're looking for a great deal, great service, Sani Car Rental is the place to be.
So, I understand that you do a full range of vehicles from Renault Quids to Mercedes high-level cars. I want to talk about the high-level stuff. What does your typical client look like and how does that process work? If I wanted to rent a car from you, why would I rent a luxury vehicle? For which occasion?
So our luxury vehicles, we usually target your professionals, business-to-business type of end user, and you would rent from us because you're going to get your quick, efficient service. It's literally collect a key at the counter and leave. We have an online driver profile system, so you can register your driver profile online. When you get to the counter, you literally just hand over your license, we give you the key and do your checks and leave. So from a business efficiency perspective, any businessman that wants to rent, Sani is your way to go.
Well, there you go, folks. And as I said, if the marketing's anything to go by, this is a company you want to work with.
Coming up after the break, Mike jumps in the suicide seat of a very special BMW M3. Did you know? The NSX was designed by a team led by Chief Designer Masahito Nakano and Executive Chief Engineer Shigeru Yuhara. It benefited from advanced aerodynamics and styling inspired by the F-16 fighter jet cockpit, as well as input during the final development stages from Formula One legend Ayrton Senna. The use of an aluminium frame for the NSX was inspired by the Shinkansen bullet train, which was also made out of lightweight metal. A sports car with less mass to throw around means you can use a smaller engine to create the same dynamic driving experience. The 200-plus kilowatt NSX marked the first time Honda used VTEC in a serious high-performance engine. Looking for finance and insurance? Visit Change Cars and click on the Financial Products tab.
Over there is an R34. In front of me is an R35, and behind me is, of course, the original Godzilla, the R32. But for more info on these iconic cars and what made them so impactful on the motorsport and motoring landscape, I think it's time for us to throw it to the voice in the sky.
The Nissan Skyline GTR is a Japanese sports car based on the Nissan Skyline range. The first cars named Skyline GTR were produced between 1969 and 1972 under the model code KPGC10 and were very successful in Japanese touring car racing. After a 16-year hiatus, the GTR name was revived in 1989 as the BNR 32 or R32 Skyline GTR. Over the years, many advanced technologies, including the ATESA ETS all-wheel drive system and Super High-Cas four-wheel steering, were implemented. This led to total domination in many racing series across the world, and so the Godzilla nickname was born. The current iteration, the R35, is the latest in the GTR lineup, but incidentally is not badged Skyline like the cars before it.
I'm sitting with the Nico brand from Maxe, and we're sitting with your latest showcase product, the roller top, something that you're very proud of.
We are, Ernest.
But why the Nico? What makes the roller top different to other brands out there, and your one specifically, what makes it special?
So, Ernest, we feel that our roller top is by far the most water and dust resistant of the options on the market. We spent a lot of time during the development of this product and the testing of this product to make sure that we could bring to market a product that was as dust resistant, water resistant and secure as possible. We've also developed an additional little add-on product as well, which really does help. So a lot of the dust and sometimes the water as well, when you're driving, comes up through the tailgate or around the side of the tailgate while the vehicle's in motion. So we've developed a nice little dust defense kit, which goes with the roller top, complements it very nicely. So that just makes sure that we can deliver an even more dust-proof product.
If anybody wants to get a hold of Maxe or find your product, how do they do that?
So they can go onto our website. It's www.maxe.co.za, or they can call us on 031 713 2200 and we'll be happy to help them.
Awesome. Thank you, Denitko.
Always good, Ernest. Much appreciated. Thank you.
So share with the audience, what are we sitting in?
So it's a E46 M3.
Right.
Basically, the car was sitting at a scrapyard. I was going to build a new car. It was supposed to be like just a 325 CI body with a 330 motor in, and then I found this one at a scrapyard. We just bought the shell, just a rolling shell, no doors, no bonnets, nothing. And we built it up. I've had it now for about almost 3 years.
Yeah.
We fitted a E46 M3 motor about 2 years ago, but everything on the car, it's lightweight materials. As you can see, the dash car.
So that is the absolute key, the lightweight. Everybody knows on track, performance is about weight versus power. Super excited. That was the most exhilarating experience I've ever had. I often say it on camera, that was the best. Whatever the previous best was, you are now officially second, third and fourth best, because this was first, second and third best. Unbelievable beyond.
So we've run out of space to cram in more action for all things motoring, at least in this episode. Join us next week for more Festival of Motoring.
Here's the screen top tip of the week. Dress it up. Invest in good floor mats and seat covers. They're like comfy pajamas for your car. Before you buy a second-hand car, screen it. It's what smart people do. Coming up next week on All Things Motoring International, we're back with part 2 of Festival of Motoring as we start the countdown towards our 100th episode later this year. This is a show where speed and inspiration continues.
Festival of Motoring 2024 to say we've got
I'd apply it on me, so I'd apply.
No
and I tried to
problem.
flick him away. Here at the Festival of Motoring, is that a Supra?
Dude, is this a Supra?
Wow! Is that a Supra?
Dude, is it a Supra?
So you got to just, come on, where do you learn to drive? This is one of our club members, actually.
You want to take it? You go say?
How does that gear knob feel? I know it sounds bad, but it's the only knob I like in my hand.
You are so excited to get that brand new vehicle, but you're looking for a specific model and specific color. Only to be told, sorry, there are none available. Change Cars, SA's most trusted online platform, will find exactly what you need, from A to B and everything in between. Change Cars, because that's what you want to do, and it's who we are. All Things Motoring International was brought to you by SA's most trusted online vehicle platform, Change Cars. Our name says it all. There is no safer online vehicle platform. That's not an opinion, that's a fact.